All right, back everybody on Thursday night. Open Line, Rhori Johnston with you. Marla Williams from Legal Aid Society is our guest, and we want to get right to the phones. We've got Tony on line one. Tony, thanks for calling in. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you for taking the call.
Sure.
We really needed this. This is right on time. Actually, it should have been done sooner. This is urgent because it's not getting any better. As the economy goes, so does the payday lenders increase their ads and really be like vampires on people here in Tennessee. I, being one of them, have had to learn over a few years to leave those people alone because it was hell to pay them back. And they act like when I got ready to pay them back, we can extend your loan, we can give you this, we can give you that. And I didn't want that. I wanted to pay them back and be done with it. Even if I had to borrow money elsewhere to pay them back one at a time, I did that.
Right.
But the three main things that happen here in Tennessee is, one, the interest rate is crazy. And two, they do advertise to try to suck you in. But the main thing I'm really concerned about is marriages have been broken up over this because one spouse borrowed and the other spouse don't know it. My ex-spouse borrowed, and she borrowed a great deal of money, and next thing you know, they was out to my car. Title loans the same way.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it. I was going to have to walk off of work.
Yeah.
But I had to call them and keep them from coming and kicking up my car. But they shouldn't have gave her the loan because the car was in my name. That's how desperate these companies are. And the main thing I want to talk about, Roy, is most of these governors are straight up honest, like California and these other governors that have an army post, that have an army base there. They put out a memorandum understanding they don't want the loan, no army, no military, active or military, any money, and they will pay their lenders know that. But this governor here in Tennessee, he have made it plain and clear that's what the federal government, Department of Defense put out, and he refused to acknowledge it. And that's a crying shame because Fort Campbell's right up the road. But these other governors have did that. They stopped there from loaning money to military personnel because it could be a time of crisis, defense crisis. You can't counter that.
Yep, that's true. Thank you so much, Tony. Appreciate it. There's a lot of money involved here, a lot of money. You talked earlier about, hopefully preventing people. So tell us about the educating, how you can get out into the community and really try to get ahead of all the advertising, the barrage of aggressive tactics, to educate people as to what they may be getting into and why they need to seek other alternatives.
We hold clinics where we give information about credit laws, and if you are being sued, well, first of all, call us, and next, if you are sued, how to protect your things like Tony talked about his car. Of course, in a title pledge case, that's difficult to do, but we give information how to avoid wage garnishments. And also in terms of like community ed, like a newspaper article, encouraging individuals maybe to, instead of borrowing money from one of these entities during the holidays, to maybe make a gift or bake something. I mean, I know that's not legal advice, but I think it's good advice.
Right, yeah, because we all feel the pressure this time of year all of a sudden comes up on us, and especially with the economy, everyone's real tight and coming out of the pandemic, and you may want to get together and be a little more lavish than normal and shower some friends with whatever your situation is. It's so important to kind of step back and take a look at what what the emotion can do instead of rationally thinking it through. But then again, if you don't have that knowledge, if you just see the commercials and you have a very friendly salesperson and it's right there down on the corner and you're thinking, let me go check this out. I'm sure there are people who go into these shops just thinking, let me just ask a few questions.
Right.
Well,
And they come out with more than that.
They come out with more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, if the, you know, and I hate to say it, but if the employees are doing their jobs right, their job is to seal the deal. Kind of like the, you know, a car dealer, the old car, you know, get them to sign, move the metal, as they say. And your head's spinning, and next thing you know, you could be in big trouble.
Yeah, that's one of the things too, is being in court. You know, if you've ever been in a general sessions court, normally that courtroom, that's the court where everybody has, you know, smaller claims. And if you represent someone in one of these cases in general sessions court where other people can see and hear, they learn a lot. So, and often we'll have folks who come up to us and say, hey, you know, I've got one of these situations, can you help us with that? And I also wanted to comment on something Tony said as well about, and I think I mentioned before, you know, all of this causes so many other problems. Like he talked about marriages breaking up. The debt problems are really can cause lots of other problems.
It's devastating. It's like any kind of an addiction, a gambling addiction, and so on.
Right.
I mean, it affects more than just one person. I mentioned this, and you talked about it, a common threat that they may use is that they're going to get a warrant.
Right.
And they just say a warrant. They don't specify, but you hear that, and there's a lot of fear. But criminally, it's not necessarily criminal. It's civil, right?
Right.
To let people know.
Right. Right. It is it's not in the criminal statute. It's civil.
Do people who come to you for services have to pay?
Oh, good question. No. No, we provide free legal services. So, again, our client must be financially eligible, or the family must be financially eligible, and have a type of case that the Legal Aid Society handles.
Right.
And like we also said before early on, for those who might not have tuned in early, we have a private bar. We have volunteers who may be able to take on some of the other cases. So if we get calls, if we get a phone call or someone comes into our office seeking legal assistance, we like to give them something, either a name of someone who may take their case, refer it to our pro bono unit, or give them some community ed material.
Sure. Now, obviously, you see all kinds of legal cases, but when it just comes to these specific payday lending loans, how often are you seeing
all the time.
All the time.
And yeah, I mentioned to staff here, in our courts, you know, if there's a 16-page docket, so to speak, I'd say about 14 pages of that will be debt collection. Maybe not the predatory lenders. It could be hospital bills or so forth. But there's a lot. Like, I will tell you that from personal experience, like on one court date where I represented and bar in one of these cases, there were 36 other cases on the docket by just one lender.
Excuse me, we only have like 30 seconds left, but what do the judges say? I mean, if I'm a judge and I keep seeing this over and over and over, there's going to be some frustration there among some of them.
It is. Some of the judges wish there was some case law. And some of the judges have, like I said, have decided that our clients don't all owe all that they've been sued for. And so...
wow. Starts on Capitol Hill. Thank you for being here, because we're going to wrap things up, and I'm going to give contact information for Legal Aid Society right after this.